more white with sparkles they've had. So I just thought it would be cute. Like, it's really not important. They're overpriced hair ties. Yeah. But everyone says that tried them says they're amazing, but I've never tried them. Because it's regular hair tie material. But they have a guy out there, so I don't know how much that little pouch is they're selling. It's basically just a roll of hair tie, and you cut it to your length. They tell you how to knot it.
I was gonna say, is it?
And then you choose. So there might be a little bit of a learning curve. Like if you want 2 loops, like Avery probably picked 4. Addison probably would too, because they just want it really tight.
Yes.
So it's supposed to be cool, but it's right outside the door. Or maybe like one over.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw a bunch of people there.
I saw the things on the floor yesterday and didn't
ties?
realize that. Yeah, it literally. And it's called tie, but it's TIY. Can I do what?
Hold that, please. Yeah. Also thinking about it here.
Who's they?
Whoever's that.
Hey guys, I hope you improve. Nope, not that. Hope you appreciated my hair tie education video. If they did, now they know. I'll be sponsoring TIY if you want to buy me some of those. Yeah, I mean they're not like super expensive, but it might be 15 or 20 bucks for a roll, which should make a lot, but I don't know how many. You see them, and I saw teams here with it. And then I realized they were here. I was like, I need to go check this out.
All right, we are live.
Alrighty, guys.
May I have that?
Who's playing in here, considering?
Thank you.
Looks like she's got the bulky wrap.
Yeah. All right, we are live. Day 3 of Festival Phoenix. I am just getting situated here. Excuse me. Ace 16 red warming up. This is day 3 of 4 of Festival Phoenix. 4-day tournament here at the end of the season. So if you've been getting a lot of text messages from me about more and more live streams, 3 a day Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Tomorrow is single elimination. Might play 1, might play 3. Depends on how they do. So far this tournament, they went 1 and 2 on Thursday, 2 and 1 on Friday, and today is day 3, hoping to keep up the winning ways from yesterday. They almost went 3-0 yesterday. They just ended up barely losing in the third set, 15-10 against the team from Shanghai. So we are. Everybody say thank you to Stacy for saving the camera right there. Thank you, Stacy. So we are, getting ready to go here. Finish warm-ups. We're playing SUSA, S-U-S-A, 16U. I'm not sure where they're from. That is our first match of the day. Then we are scheduled to play at 6 and 7 p.m. respectively, Phoenix time. So we'll be off for a couple hours before we play again. All right, much like yesterday, signal not great. Oh, the video signal and the audio signal here should be fine on a secondary phone here. I'm waiting for it to connect to the scorekeeping app, so you know, you can see what the score is versus me just telling you, which I will do, of course. I try to maintain, you know, some sort of professional decorum when I'm announcing. And for those of you watching from Memphis, I am not a history teacher. However, little fun fact, on June 26th, which was yesterday, I believe it was 1977, that was unknowingly Elvis Presley's last concert before he passed away. I hear you guys like Elvis over there in Memphis. Some history or something. All right, we're going to let SUSA serve, and then we will nice catch, coach. Sorry, giving one of the coaches a problem. Giving one of the coaches some lip. Hi, everybody. Can you see me? Because my phone's on the floor. Yeah, they probably can't hear me either. Thanks. Yeah, you probably can. Back up and running. Told you it was going to happen sooner or later. No, me. Right through the net off my hat. Here's another one over here.
Oh, the good one, the Bears. They're good.
I can grab it.
It's my favorite one.
For protection.
Well, I just will put it on here. Hey.
All right, we are giving high fives. I'm still trying to get the score keeping phone up and running. Oh, here we go. It finally connected. Good timing, too. A16 red against SUSA 16-1. All right, we got Cassie, Leah. The starting lineup looks like it's going to look familiar. Sarah. Addison. Sophie. And Callie Rico. Looks like Addison will start with the serve. And then we'll go from there. All right. We're straight on today, which is a little odder than normal. Hopefully that camera angle is good for y'all. All right. Checking lineup. The ref has got... Oh, I like this ref too. The ref is up on the stand. Team is ready to go. It looks like down ref is ready. And away we go. Day 3, match number 1 for ace 16 red. Ball's in the air from Madison. Cross court. She starts it off with an ace. SUSA can't handle it. 1-0 ace. Woo! Here, early in the first. And by early, I mean 1 point in. Number 42 going up for a serve. Cross court. SUSA able to handle that one. Sets it over to their outside. Goes up for a hit. Over the block. Addison is able to dig that one to Cassie. Cassie sends that over to the outside to Leah. Leah with a hit. Down the line. Another point. Another kill for Leah. Ace up 2-0. I say another kill for Leah. She has been on fire both Thursday and Friday. See if she can keep it up. Ace up 2-0. Ball's in the air from Madison. Cross court. SUSA able to get that one. Slight overpass. Cassie able to react and get it right back over the net. Up to their outside again. That one's off the block. Rico able to cover. Addison sends that over to Leah. Leah up for another hit. She tips that into the far corner. That lands out. Oh, man. I thought maybe there was a slight touch. It did not quite touch it, even though they're going for it. Point SUSA. SUSA to serve down 1-2. Ball's in the air from SUSA. Sophie able to dig that one. Callie gets there and gets to it. Could not quite get it up high enough to react. That is going to be a point for SUSA. We are tied at 2 here in set number 1. Ball's in the air. Callie, slide overpass. Cassie's able to set her, dump that right over. That's a kill for Cassie. Point for Ace. Ace up 3-2. Cassie Barney serving. Ball's in the air from Cassie. SUSA able to dig that one, but nobody's home. That's an ace for Cassie and a point for Ace. Ace up 4-2 here early. Ball's in the air from Cassie. That one takes a dive. It's another ace for Cassie. Woo! Ace now at 5-2 here early in the first. Just as a reminder to those of you watching, these matches at this tournament's best 2 out of 3 sets. First 2 go to 25. If it goes to a tiebreaker, it is to 15. Got to win by 2. SUSA hits that through our block and it lands down. That is a point for SUSA. SUSA to serve down 3-5. Ball's in the air for SUSA. Sophie cannot handle it, goes out of bounds. That's going to be a point for SUSA. SUSA to serve down 4-5. Ball's in the air for SUSA. Callie, two-handed pass. Sarah's able to save it. Sophie can't quite get to it. We are now tied at 5. Ball's in the air. Ace able to get that one. Perfect bump, set, spike, kill for Sarah. Point for Ace. Ace serving up 6-5. Kaylee in for Leah and to serve. Abby in the front row for Sophie. Ball's in the air. SUSA able to dig that one to get it to the right side. Right side goes over it. Lefty through the block. Callie's able to get that to Sarah. Sarah to Callie. Callie tips it over the net. SUSA able to recover. They set it over to their outside. Goes up for a hit around the block. Cassie's able to dig that. Mael and Sarah do not talk to each other. That is a point for SUSA. We are tied at 6. Ball's in the air for SUSA. Mael gets that one up. Haley saves that one across the court. Abby can't get there. That's another point for SUSA. SUSA now up 7-6.
How are you?
Well, how are you? Good. Not bad. Ball's in the air for SUSA. Cassie to Sarah. Sarah with a hit through a block. SUSA able to get that one up. Sends it over to their outside for a hit. That is around the block. Cassie one-handed dig. Kaylee keeps it up. And ref calls ace into the net. Point SUSA. SUSA to serve up 8-6. Ball's in the air for SUSA. It's going to be a point for SUSA. Point SUSA. SUSA up 10-6. Sorry, just taking care of some housekeeping behind the scenes. SUSA serving up 10-6. Ball's in the air. Mael able to get that one. Cassie able to scramble over. Sarah sends the ball over the net. Too strong past the corner. It's a point for SUSA. SUSA up 11-6. Timeout ace. All right, sorry, back here with service. Mael with an ace. Ace pulls within one, down 10-11 now. Making a little 4-point run here after giving up quite a few in a row to SUSA. In the front row, we got Addison, Abby, and Callie. In the back row, we got Kaylee, Cassie, and Mael is serving. Ball's in the air for Mael. Takes a dive. SUSA scrambles to get it over. That lands in the end line. That is a good call. It's a point for SUSA. SUSA to serve up 12-10. Ball's in the air from SUSA. Mael digs it. Cassie sets that up for Rico. Rico with the lefty with the hit. Right at a player. They are able to get it over. Oh, set or dump works. Abby can't quite keep it in. 13-10 SUSA. Ball's in the air from SUSA. Kaylee able to get that one up. Abby able to send it over to Addison, who tips it over. SUSA, cross-court hit, out of bounds, no touch, point ace. Ace within two, serving down 11-13. Beth coming in to serve for Callie. Ball's in the air. SUSA able to get it over to their outside. He goes over hit, tips it over. Kaylee can't quite get there. Right in the campfire. Point for SUSA. SUSA up 14-11. Here, halfway through the first set. Ball's in the air. Too strong. Point ace. Ace to serve down 12-14. Sophie coming in to serve. Leah coming in the front row for Kaylee. Ball's in the air from Sophie. SUSA able to get that to their setter to their right side. Has to work around their setter to barely hit it over the net. Beth sets that one for Leah. Leah goes up for a kill. It goes through the block. SUSA is able to dig that one. They send a setter dump across. Mael does not hit it over. She hits it kind of through the net. Can't do that. That's a point for SUSA. SUSA to serve up 15-12. Ball's in the air for SUSA. Sophie able to dig that to Beth. Beth just tips it right over. SUSA recovers, sets it to their outside, goes up for a hit. Hits it into a block. Cassie's able to save it off her own block. Get it back to Leah, sends it into the corner. SUSA able to dig that one, sets it to their middle, goes up for a tip. Cassie hits that one up. Beth sets that one up for Leah. Leah sends a free ball over the net. SUSA with a two-handed pass to their center. Bumps it over to their outside with a hit. Over a block. Mael digs it back over the... Oh, what a rally back and forth. That lands just on the end line. Point for SUSA. All right, that was a service error for SUSA. Point ace. Ace serving down 13-16. Addison in to serve. That was Sarah into the front row. I think I got all the adjustments there. 17-13 SUSA with that point there. Yeah, let me know if you can hear me. Apparently there was no sound there for a minute. So hopefully everything is copacetic and working. Addison and Sophie work together. Get that to Sarah for a kill. Point ace. Ace serving down 14-17. Mael into the back row for Addison. Cassie serving. Callie into the front row. All right, we got the lineup set. Ball's in the air. SUSA sends that one over Ace unable to get it over the net. A point for SUSA. SUSA up 18-14. Here in set number 1. Cassie to Sarah. Sarah hits it over. SUSA able to dig that, get it to their outside. Goes up over the block. Mael with the dig. Sarah sets that up for Leah. Leah with a hit down the line. SUSA once is able to save it twice. They're going to have to send a free ball over the net. Sophie in the corner is able to get that to Cassie. Cassie sets that one up for Leah. Leah goes up for another hit. Cross court. SUSA can't handle that one. It's a kill for Leah and a point for Ace. Ace within 3, down 15-18. Kaylee coming in the back row for Leah to serve. Abby coming in the front row for Sophie. Nope, not question mark 7. There we go. Everybody's in. Ball's in the air from Kaylee. Oh, that barely hits the top of the tape. Service error. Point SUSA. SUSA serving up 19-15. Thank you for the sound check. Ball's in the air. Mael able to dig that one. It was going to land in the back corner off that dig. SUSA able to get to it. Back row hit. It's going to be too strong. Point for Ace. Ace within 3 again to serve down 16-19. Addison into the front row. Mael to serve. Ball's in the air from Mael. Cross court. SUSA able to work together to get it over through a block. Cassie sets out one for Abby. Abby goes up for a hit. Hits it across court. SUSA with a two-handed pass. It's set to the right side. She's a lefty over the block. Cassie's able to save that one. Addison sets that one. That's a point for Ace. SUSA into the net. Ace serving down 17-19. Ball's in the air for Mael. SUSA hits that straight up, real high. Setter's able to work their way over. Back row hit into the net. Point for Ace within 1, down 18-19. Timeout, SUSA.
How's it going?
What's up, dude? How are you?
Good.
Another tournament.
Another tournament.
Here we are.
Here we are. How have they been doing?
They All right, sorry, just saying hi to another parent from another team that we know. Mael waiting to serve. Away we go. Mael, oh, wow, that was really well done by SUSA getting that ball over. Cassie gets that over. Okay, good scrambling back and forth there. Addison with the block. SUSA off the block. It's going to be a point for SUSA. Good scrambling back and forth there from both teams on their one volley. And then SUSA hits it into the block. Can't quite get it down. SUSA serving up 20-18 here in the first. Ball's in the air. Mael able to get that to Callie. Back to Mael over the net. Got SUSA. Hits it right through the block. That's going to be a point for SUSA. 21-18 SUSA. Ball's in the air. Cassie over to Rico, the lefty. It did not quite make it over. So that would be 4 hits. You got to get it over in 3. Timeout Ace. So SUSA up 22-18. As far as I know, we got people watching from all over today. We got Florida, Indiana, Illinois, Tennessee, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. Thanks for tuning in. Man, I'm almost worldwide international. Not really. Although we did play teams from China and Mexico yesterday. So we got that going for us. Got a team from Canada behind us right now. All right, SUSA up 22-18 with the serve. Abby able to dig that one to Cassie. Cassie sets that one up for Rico, the lefty. She goes up for a hit. Cross-court hit. SUSA with a two-handed pass to their setter. Sets it over their outside. Goes up for a hit. Past the block. Cassie can't handle it with one hand on a quick reaction. Point SUSA. SUSA up 23-18 here in the first. Ball's in the air for SUSA. Mael digs that one. Cassie. Oh, it was just a slight overpass. That was an overpass kill for SUSA. Cassie couldn't quite get up there. She couldn't jump. She's currently a back row player, so still learning some rules. Set point for SUSA, and that will do it. SUSA wins the first set, 25-18. We will see you in about 3 minutes for set number 2. Oh, man, look at this thing grow. We got California on the list watching today, too. So what is that? California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. That's 4. Tennessee, 5. Illinois, 6. Indiana, 7. Florida, 8. We're up to 8 state. We got. I was about to say we got 20%, but that would be bad math because that would be 10 out of 50. I got 8 out of 50. How's that? All right, set number 2. Addison, Sophie, Rico, Sarah, Leah, Cassie, Mael in for Addison in the back row. All right. SUSA starts off with the serve here in set number 2. Ace dropped the first set, 25-18. All right, there's the signal to serve. Away we go. Ball's in the air. Rico, two-handed pass, goes right back over. SUSA able to set that to their outside. Goes up for a hit over the block. Mael's able to get that one to Sarah. Sarah sets that one up for Cassie was into the net. Point for SUSA. SUSA up 1-0. Ball's in the air. Sophie to Cassie. Cassie's able to save that one. Callie gets that to Leah. Leah with the tip over. SUSA able to cover. Gets it to their setter. Setter to the right side. She's a lefty. Goes for a hit. Sophie able to save that. Cassie gets that one over to Leah, who, it lands between Leah and Sarah. Unfortunately, neither can get to it. Point SUSA. SUSA up 2-0. Ball's in the air. Oh, she rolls that one over the tape. Lucky serves. Seems to happen once or twice a set. More so in their favor than ours. SUSA serving up 3-0. Sophie able to get down and dig it. Overpass. Cassie can jump that time because she's a front row player. She goes for a dump. SUSA is able to cover. They hit that one over the block. Leah gets that to Mael. Back to Leah for a hit. She gets it down in. SUSA is able to cover. Gets over to their outside for a hit. Into Cassie's block. They save that one. Goes over. Cassie with a two-handed pass up. Sophie sends it across court to Leah. Leah goes up for a hit. Sarah went up for a hit. And it hits the floor. That is a point for SUSA. Didn't quite get it over the net on that tip. 4-0 SUSA here. Second set. Ball's in the air. Sophie able to get that one up. Mael sends it across court to Leah. Leah goes up for a hit. Does not hit it over the net. 5-0 SUSA. Timeout ace here early in the second. Back from timeout, service error. Back from timeout, service error. We call that a coach's point. Attribute that one to Coach Page. Ace to serve down 1-5. Cassie serving. Ball's in the air from Cassie. Oh, it takes a dive for an ace right over the net. Ace within 3, down 2-5. Turn that around, you get 5-2. What is May 2nd? May 2nd is The Rock's birthday. Also my wife's birthday. Ball's in the air from Cassie. SUSA gets that one into a block, but it goes out of bounds, so that's a point for SUSA. They got up, they just couldn't get it in bounds. SUSA to serve up 6-2. Ball's in the air from SUSA. Mael able to get that one to Cassie. Cassie sets that up for Rico. Rico the lefty with a hit. SUSA able to dig that one. Set it over there outside. Outsider with a tip. Cassie can't quite cover. It hits the ground. And they're going to call that SUSA. Cassie and Leah both thought she got there. The ref said no. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see that one on the replay either, just because of where it was on the court. Cassie sets that one up for Sarah into a block. That's going to be another point for SUSA. SUSA up 8-2 here in the second. Ball's in the air for SUSA. Sophie able to dig that one. Sarah sets that one up for Rico. Rico the lefty. I'm not really sure that was a lift, but I am also not an official. That's just my personal opinion. Point SUSA. SUSA serving up 9-2 here in the second. SUSA took the first set 25-18. Sophie able to dig that one to Cassie. Cassie gets that one for Leah. Leah tips that across into the corner. SUSA able to get there, sets it over to their outside, who gets a hit over a block. Sarah with a one-handed save. Mael back to Sarah and Leah, who cannot get to it at the net. It's a point for SUSA. SUSA now up 10-2. Ball's in the air. Service error. Point ace. Ace to serve down 3-10. Leah serving. Sophie in the front row. 24, 10, 22. That is right. Too strong. Heads up. Point ace. Ace serving down 4-10. Ball's in the air. That takes a dive. SUSA able to get it to the right side. The lefty hits it over. Leah's able to dig it. Goes back over. Overpass kill attempt does not work for SUSA. But, wow. Ace scrambled to get that over. Did not see that coming. The lefty hits it into a block, and it lands on our side of the court. That's another point for SUSA. SUSA up 11-4. SUSA serving up 11-4. Ball's in the air. Sophie able to dig that one. It is an overpass. They called a lift on Cassie. Okay. I'm not sure about that one either. I'll have to go back and watch that one. I could be completely wrong. The ref could be completely right. Is what it is. Maybe I'll stop commenting on actual play, as it is just an announcer's opinion. Sophie's able to dig that one, but it goes over the net and all the way out the back and lands out of bounds. Point SUSA. SUSA up 13-4 here in the second. Ace taking their second and final timeout of the set, down 13-4. Back from timeout. Ball's in the air. We got Mael digging that to Cassie. Cassie over to Sophie. Sophie with a hit. SUSA able to dig that. Gets it to their middle. Middle goes over a hit. Sarah's able to recover. Ace can't keep it in bounds. Another unforced error. Another point for SUSA. SUSA up 14-4 here in the second. Ball's in the air from SUSA. A dig from Sarah. Sarah gets that to Cassie. Gets it up for Rico, the lefty. Cross court. SUSA able to recover. Gets it to their outside. Goes up. That is going to be out. Too strong. Point for Ace. Ace to serve down 5-14. Addison into the front row. Mael to serve. Ball's in the air from Mael. Cross-court serve. Takes a dive. SUSA's able to get to it. Sophie with an overpass kill. Does not land. SUSA able to work together to get that one over off Addison and Sophie's block. Mael sends that over to Sophie. Sophie with a hit. Over the block this time. SUSA digs that to their setter. Setter all the way to their outside, who tips it over. Callie and Addison can't work together to handle the tip. Point SUSA. SUSA serving up serving up 15-5. Ball's in the air from SUSA. Leah to Cassie. Cassie to Sophie. Sophie with a hit. SUSA digs. Their setter sends a two-handed pass into the back corner where we aren't. Point SUSA. SUSA up 16-5. Ball's in the air. Sophie digs that one to Cassie. Cassie sends that one over to Sophie. Sophie with a hit. Into the net. Point SUSA. SUSA up 17-5. Turn that around. You get 5-17. May 17th. That's a birthday score shout out to my mother. Happy birthday score, Mom. That's going to be a point for Ace. Ace to serve down 6-17. Beth coming in to serve. Abby in the front row for Cassie. And away we go. Ball's in the air from Beth. SUSA gets that one up. Addison with an overpass. Block kill. Point for Ace. Ace down 7-17 and serving. Ball's in the air from Beth. It takes another dive. SUSA is able to get that one to their setter. To their right side. She takes a hit. Beth able to two-handed pass to get that over. That was going to land in. SUSA smart to play. Gets it to their middle. Middle hits it over. Addison's block. Mael gets that to Leah. Leah gets it over to Sophie. Sophie with a hit. Oh, she goes to tip it over. Puts it into the pole. That's going to be a point for SUSA. SUSA to serve up 18-7 here in the second. SUSA took the first 25-18. They're looking to close this out in straight sets. Ace still looking to force a third. They're going to have to go on a run here. Ball's in the air from SUSA. That's an ace for SUSA. SUSA up 19-7. Ball's in the air. Ace cannot handle that one. Point SUSA. That is twice that the ball has gone through one of the small squares on the side of the net without touching anything else. One in the first set, one in this set. Ball's in the air from SUSA. Abby cannot handle that one. Another point for SUSA, 21-7. Ace cannot stop play. We have no timeouts left. Have used them both. Ball's in the air. Give Leah to Beth. Beth loses a battle at the net right there quick. And a point for SUSA. SUSA up 22-7. Abby able to handle that one to Beth. Beth back over to Abby for a hit. Abby hits it into a block, lands out of bounds. That is a point, a kill for Abby and a point for Ace. Ace to serve down 8-22. Ball's in the air from Sophie. SUSA to their middle. Addison gets her hands up on a block. Leah able to play it off the block. Beth back over to Leah. Leah with a hit. SUSA able to dig it. Get over to their outside. Their outside goes up for a hit. Beth able to handle that one. It goes over the net. SUSA's able to play that one. Bumps that to their right side. Who gets a hit? Too strong. No touch. Point Ace. Ace serving down 9-22. That was a good rally from both teams there. Ace comes out on top. Ball's in the air. That's going to be a service error. Point SUSA. SUSA to serve up 23-9. Kaylee coming in for Sophie in the back row. Ball is in the air from SUSA. Mael gets that one to Beth. Beth sets that one up for Leah. Leah able to get it in the far corner. SUSA able to dig that one, get it over to their outside. They got to send a free ball over the net. Kaylee passes that one to Beth. Beth sets that one up for Addison. Addison goes up in the middle, gets a hit. SUSA able to dig that one over to their outside for another hit. Off of Addison's block. That's going to be a point for SUSA. Addison and Abby got up there, but they could not get enough hand on the ball. Match point SUSA up 24-9 here in set number 2. Ball's in the air. Mael digs that one to Beth. Beth sets that one up for Leah. Leah goes up for a hit. Into the net. Point for SUSA. That's going to end it 2-0. They take it 25-18 and 25-9. A rough start. Day 3 here for Ace 16 Red. We are off for the next 2 hours. Next scheduled game is at 6 p.m. Arizona time. Probably will be a little earlier than that, unless each of the next 2 matches goes 3. Then we'll see. It's up in the air. See you in a couple hours.